Mental illness is horrible and very hard to handle. I know firsthand that it is very hard to deal with. I've dealt with panic attacks and depression and anxiety, so I know it's not easy. That's why I'd like to see how other countries deal with mental illness. Now, what is mental illness? Mental illness can be many different disorders, and it can affect many different aspects of people's lives. Mental disorders can be panic attacks or bipolar disorder or anxiety disorders. There's many different kinds of all of these. And they can affect people's motivation, their ability to even handle every their day-to-day lives, and even may affect their will to live. Mental disorders can affect how people see themselves and the world around them. Now, let's look at the seriousness of mental illness in South Korea. According to the International Journal of Mental Health Systems, studies have shown that South Korea's suicide rates are extremely high. Their suicide rates are the highest in all of the OECD nations. OECD is the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. That has been going on for 10 years. 29 adults out of every 100,000 adults commit suicide. Mental illness is very serious and should not be taken lightly. 3 out of 10 adults have dealt with mental illness there. Now, here's how South Korea has improved their mental health resources. They have set up a lot of different hospitals and psychiatric clinics. They've had 187 mental health hospitals and 857 psychiatric clinics since 2013. They've started improving around 1995. They've treated mental health illnesses mostly in hospitals, and they deal with rehabilitation and, of course, treatment, and how they even help with housing, and they deal with occupational and economic support. More people tend to go for hospital-based treatment. They don't usually go for community-based treatment. South Korea is more into hospital-based treatment, which is actually negatively impacting the people that live there. The people that live there have started to become more dependent on hospital-based treatment. And so when they try to go back to their everyday lives, they don't really want to, and they tend to avoid it. Now, let's look at one of South Korea's major problems when it comes to mental health. People in South Korea tend to not actually want to be given treatment for their mental health issues. They tend to want to hide their mental health issues because the culture there has deemed it shameful and weak. They ignore their symptoms until they just can't anymore. There's a lot of societal pressure when it comes to mental illness. Most people try to receive treatment, but only for their physical side, like fatigue or headaches or abdominal pain. So they don't try to go see help for their mental health issues, only the physical side. They mostly do this because they're afraid of being different. So usually families try to tell their family not to seek help and just hide it. Sometimes they even commit suicide because they want to retain their honor, and they see committing suicide as a way of doing that. As we all know, mental health is very important, and it affects everyone. It affects more people than we think it does. I know that I've personally dealt with a lot of hard times when it comes to my mental health, and it makes me sad to see that people in South Korea don't really seek help, even though there is help there. It seems that the help there is mostly for show, which is very sad. I'm very thankful that I've been able to seek help for my mental health issues because my parents are psychologists, so I have always seen psychologists and psychiatrists, but people there, they have those people on hand, but they don't ever see them. It makes me sad that they go through such a horrible time, but their culture has made it so that they can't. Thank you.